Hello there, a very warm welcome to Glazier's Hall. Big news coming out today, and that is that Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron are set to rematch on Easter Sunday, April the 20th. They will lock horns once again. Matt Macklin and Johnny Nelson. There is quite a bit of buzz around this one because, to say the least, there's been a fair bit of back and forth between these two. Last met last October. It was a technical draw, a controversial technical draw, and there's so much to like about this one, Matt.
I love this fight. I think the way the fight was going, the way it ended, I think an immediate rematch was an absolute must.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the way it ended was a bit kind of WWE-esque, wasn't it? Of Ben and Liam going off the side of the ring.
And there was more of a question mark over Ben than it was Liam. And I think Ben's the one that's probably had more heat on him and his reputation and his character than Liam has. And I think I spoke to Liam earlier on. He said, I had other options. You know, people think I'm chasing this. I wasn't chasing this. He needs it more than I do, which I was surprised he said that. And maybe that is the case. Maybe for Ben's ego, he's thinking, I need to just right this wrong right now and fix it. But I'm quite sure Ben has been under immense pressure from the public every time he's popped his face up.
Well, there was a fair bit of backlash, wasn't there, towards Ben Whittaker after that, because people were saying, you know, was it as serious as they thought, as what he was sort of letting on or making out?
Was
it real?
Reputationally, moving forward, and for his own confidence, he needs to get this was a must. An immediate rematch was a must. He needs to win it well, and then put it behind him and move on.
How much do you think that would have sort of irked him, hurt Ben, the backlash and what people were saying after the fight?
Definitely hurt him. It would have hurt me. Would have hurt you, Johnny.
There's two ways you can look at it. You know, historically, you look at David Haye against Carl Thompson. David Haye got knocked out against Carl Thompson in his 10th professional fight. David Haye, like Ben Whittaker, there was a lot of noise about his potential as a fighter. Carl Thompson, 40 years old and the rest, knocked him out. So the common sense thing would have been to have a rematch and get back in with him again, but he didn't. And look at what David Haye went on to do. So for Ben, he either had to put his hard hat on and ignore the pressures of the public and think, I'm going to go this way, or do this. Ego has got the better of everybody around him.
I think it's slightly different, Johnny, because Carl Thompson first of all was a former world champion, and it was obvious that David Haye punched himself out. It was a fight when he, that's not really what happened with Ben Whittaker and Cameron. First of all, Cameron isn't a former world champion, and it was a fight that, the way it ended, lots of people were saying he quit.
Yeah, and that's
the thing.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing about it, because in our big sport, football, it happens every time. Flick a player on his knees, rolling down 15 times to get the advantage. There was a situation where Ben had to make a decision whether or not he could carry on or not was down to him. But the backlash and the flack he's got, it's like he's committed the ultimate sin, especially in our sport. So now he's got to right the wrong here.
He has got to right the wrong. But what do you think we're going to see today? Do you think Ben? I mean, does he need to eat a bit of humble pie, do you think?
I don't know. It's I guess Cameron's going to prod and poke him, isn't he? So I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if humble pie is the right word, because from his point of view, he's going to say, well, I was injured. You know, the fight was a draw at that point. I thought I was winning. You thought you were winning. The ref saw it. The judges had it as a draw. You know, I was going to go on and beat you. That's what he will say. Now, that's not how the fight was going at that moment. Whether or not he was going to turn it around, who knows? None of us have got a crystal ball.
Well, it went to the cards, didn't it?
Well, it went to the cards, but the pattern of the fight, the way it was moving at that time, it was against Ben Whittaker. It wasn't going in his direction.
If I was Ben, I'd milk it. I would play the pantomime villain, because I'm quite sure, because of his style of fight, you either love him or loathe him. So this gives the haters the chance to really heap it on him. So if I was him, I'd milk it. I'd say, all right.
Who's the pressure on more in this one?
The pressure's on Ben Whittaker by a mile.
Yeah.
Now, he's fighting for his career, really, because of where he, as a blue chip prospect, silver medalist Olympian, where he's going, where he's projecting his future.
Well, also there was such a fanfare, wasn't there, that he turned over to, yeah.
And so from that point of view, the pressure's all on him. I will say, I do believe that wasn't the real Ben Whittaker in there on the night. I don't know if he overtrained or he got the weight wrong, but he looked shattered. He looked weak. He didn't look any strength in him. I think like I say, whether it was the weight or he overtrained, I felt like it wasn't the best Ben Whittaker.
And I believe that Ben was trying too hard to impress to steal the show, and he picked the wrong.
Well, it was
tactics.
on the undercard, wasn't it, of the Bivol Better Behave? It was a huge stage, a huge card.
Yeah, and so he went out there, he chose wrong tactics. It's something you've got to learn along the line as a professional fighter. He'll think, I'll not do that again, because he gets flack for the showboating when he didn't showboat, and that was the result. And I think showboating is part of his arsenal, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to show you all. Now he's got to think, I've got to get in there for me. This is what I do, this is how I box, and this is how I win.
And Ben might think he's levels above in terms of skill and ability and technical ability of someone like Liam Cameron, but Liam Cameron's a tough, hard, seasoned pro, and you've got to give the man respect for that.
We're also going to see the return of Fraser Clark after his loss, first professional stoppage loss to Fabio Wardley. So it'd be good to see him back in action.
It'd be good to see him, just to see where he is, where he's at, see where the confidence is, and just to see how the team works. And Fraser's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, so you always want what's good for him.
And Tyler Denny as well, back in action against Elvis Ahorga. We saw him, didn't we, against Callum Simpson the other week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Ahorga.
Oh, yeah, of course. I thought you meant Tyler Denny. I was like, no.
We've not seen Tyler Denny since the Hamza Shiraz loss.
Hamza Shiraz. But, you know, up to the Shiraz fight, he was on such a run. Yeah. He had to win somewhere, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? And Shiraz, top fighter, now fighting for the world title next week. So no shame in that loss. But it's good to see Tyler come back.
Absolutely. And Sam Egginton as well returns against Lee Cutler.
Sam Egginton, he was fighting when I was fighting.
I know. I feel like I've been seeing Sam for years.
This kid? And I saw him there, and I thought, you know what?
He's not as old as you think he is.
I know. He must have been a young pup when he boxed, but it was just nice to see the face.
What do you think is going to happen then today? I mean, they're all lining up there on the top table. Do you think we're going to see respect between Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron? You don't think so?
I think it's going to erupt.
I think Ben will produce his arrogance to just say, I don't care what you've got to say. This is all I've got to say. And I'm quite sure if he gives it to Liam will give it back. But it'll be calm until someone just sets a bit of...
Lights the fire.
Yeah, lights the fire. Yeah.
All right, well, I've just been given the nod from Andy Scott. It looks like that top table is set and ready to go. So let's hand you over to Andy Scott to talk us through the press conference.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming down today. I'm just going to take 1 second, if nobody minds. There's going to be a lot of things said at this top table today, and I don't think I'm going to get another opportunity. Perhaps the circumstances won't be right to sort of talk about it, but I think over the past couple of weeks, today as well, we've seen the news about Joe Gallagher and Georgia O'Connor, who are both facing serious battles outside the ring. What I would say is boxing's a very small community, and I think everyone's had their run-ins with Joe, and of course Georgia O'Connor boxed on the women's night that we had on Sky Sports and Boxer. So I just want to take the opportunity from everybody at Sky Sports and Boxer, and on behalf of the boxing community, I know you've got your battles outside the ring and a long road ahead, but we're all supporting you, and we wish you all the best for the future. Okay, so welcome to Glazers Hall today in London for the official press announcement for Whittaker v Cameron 2. Now, every rematch is born from a spark, from a flashpoint, if you will, a moment in time. You need only to look at that moment that Howard Foster stepped in with George Groves and Carl Froch the first time round to see the outcry for a rematch. And we know what that grew into. It grew into something massive. With that spark, a monster rematch was born. When Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron crashed over the ropes in the Kingdom Arena out in Riyadh, immediately the questions, the accusations, the fallout began. That was the spark that lit this fire. So on the 20th of April, Easter Sunday, we go again. The rematch is on. A word, Ben Shalom, just to get this one over the line, you must be delighted before I welcome everybody at the top table and include our undercard fighters as well.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. Obviously, once that happened in October, this was the fight that everyone wanted to make, that everyone wanted to see, the fans wanted, the fighters wanted. And so delighted to have it over the line. Delighted to go back to Birmingham. So much talent coming through. Seeing Sam Egginton back in an unbelievable fight against Lee Cutler, Tyler Denny returning as well, Fraser Clark, who's not here today. in a great fight against Tete. It's going to be an amazing night on April 20th, but it's topped by, for me, one of the biggest stories in British boxing, and it will be one hell of a night.
Yeah, so everybody that is in the country is here today. Fraser and Ebenezer Tete will join us fight week, but I will just start at the end there. But, you know, good to see you again, Tyler Denny. I'm starting with you because you're in my eye line, but Elvis Ohorga, the soldier, awaits you. Great to have you back, presumably. Great to be back on the horse as well. It wasn't to be against Hamza Shiraz, but I think time will tell us that getting beat by Hamza Shiraz is no bad thing. He looks like a real quality operator. It was the stuff of dreams for you to box at Wembley Stadium. Wasn't the result you wanted. How desperate are you to get back to winning ways against what looks like a dangerous operator in Elvis Ohorga, who we had a few weeks ago against Callum Simpson?
Yeah, I'm buzzing to be back, to be fair. Enjoyed the whole Wembley sort of stuff, but you know, I lost at the end of the day, and that doesn't sit nice with me. Do you know what I mean? And people say, yeah, but you fought at this and you fought at that, but I'd rather just win and fight at a town hall or something. Do you know what I mean? So the hunger's there, man. The hunger's there. I'm gonna show everyone. I've got plenty left in the tank, and I think obviously they're good at playing at me for that. He brings views. He's entertaining. I think he's a bit mad, to be honest, but he's. I think it'll make for a fun fight.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the Tyler Denny way without a few ups and downs. I mean, you've been on this great run. What are the remaining ambitions and hunger? Is there still more to achieve, or is it all just? And it's a funny way to have fun, but I always get the impression, you know, it is about having fun with you and you enjoy your craft.
Yeah, I think both really, because I never really had any goals when I started off, so I've exceeded all expectations, but I've done that probably a while back, and so the hunger's still there. Do you know what I mean? People are saying I wouldn't win a Midlands title, and I won that, so the English had no chance, and then European, and so, but I just feel like I'm still getting better and better, and you know, fair play to Hamza, he's better than me on the night, and hopefully he goes on and wins world titles and stuff, but there's plenty left for me.
Well, great to have you back. As we said at the start, Tyler Denny takes on Elvis Ohorga. I'm going to come to the other side of the table now. Sam Egginton, great to have you. It doesn't feel like it wouldn't be right if we were in a Birmingham show without you. And also the headline is kind of a dream for the headline writers. So the Savage takes on Chaos in Lee Cutler. I think the fans and the broadcasters are winning with this one because you both bring a lot of violence and a lot of action.
Yeah, from what I've heard, like I say, it's no secret I don't really watch too much boxing, so I've never really watched Cutler box. I saw bits of him we were on the same show the other year, but from what the coaches have told me, you know, he likes to come forward, likes to throw shots, and you know, we'll meet there and we'll see how it ends.
It's almost impossible to think that you'd ever be in a bad fight, always in a good fight. If I could say on our behalf, he's a lot like you. You know, he brings the heat and brings the action. It's a similar sort of question that I asked Tyler Denny. You've achieved so much. What are the remaining hopes and ambitions, starting with Lee Cutler, who you will hope and want to get past?
Look, people keep asking me this, what's the ambitions? I enjoy my job. It's that simple. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, I don't watch much boxing, but I enjoy my boxing. So when I'm training and I'm boxing, I love what I do in it. So the ambition is to keep a job that you want to do. Like you say, you enjoy your job, you don't work a day in your life, and that's me. The bouts are great with it. You know, you get paid well, and you know, all this stuff's great, but I enjoy boxing. You know, I enjoy my job, and the ambition is to carry on doing that at a high level.
And doing that at home as well is just a little added motivation?
Yeah, a little added bonus. Like I say, I think, it's no secret, I don't mind travelling. I'll box anywhere against anyone on anyone's show, but you know, to have this, you know, land in Birmingham, yeah, it's a bonus.
Yeah, well, it's always great to have you on the card. There's a nice story here, if you don't mind me telling it, Lee Cutler. So before you had even turned pro, you went as a paying fan to watch David Haye, Tony Bellew at the O2, which featured Sam Egginton on the undercard against Paulie Malignaggi. Yeah. And then you sort of said, you know, who knew?
It seems like yesterday that I actually boxed amateur the night before in a little sports hall, and all my mates got a train up to London to watch at the O2, and then Sam Egginton absolutely punched the hell out of Paulie Malignaggi, who's obviously a big name in boxing, and it's weird how life works out, and now I'm here fighting him. It's an honour to be here and fighting on this sort of stage, and I can't wait to show what I'm made of again.
Did you win the amateur fight the night before?
I didn't actually.
It was a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, it was a
Can't hope you for
50-50
that.
chance. It was for the English title at the time when they done this, and I thought I won, to be fair.
Got
but
robbed, didn't you?
That's amateur boxing.
Got robbed,
I
mate.
got robbed. Yeah, I had him down 3 times. Got stopped, but he still won.
I feel like not a resurgence is the wrong word actually, but you are riding the crest of a wave at the moment. You sort of stepped in there against Stephen McKenna and felt the wrath of the verbal battle beforehand, and not a self-doubt or doubts from outside, but you went in as an underdog. So to do what you did and perform like you did must have been very, very welcome.
Yeah, a lot of people doubted me. Me, my coach, and my team know what we do in the gym. I'm part of the best stable in the country now, the McGuigan gym, under Josh Pritchard, and I'm just improving all the time. Every spar, I'm getting better and better. And I just can't wait to keep showing it against Sam Eggington. Is my biggest name on my record now. Well, will be. So yeah, and then from there, hopefully go on and not looking past Sam, but hopefully go on and headline down in Bournemouth. That's my ultimate goal. But I need to get through Sam before I can do that.
And how do you go about doing that? I mean, at this say this with all the respect. With Sam, we've all seen it. You know exactly what you're going to get. If you're not on it, or you're not at the races,
In a phone box.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for. Is that a reality?
Yeah, in a phone box. That's what we've been working on, and we want to keep improving and entertaining the fans. But before I stop, I just want to say a good mate of mine lost his life, John Cooney, recently. He went to school down in Bournemouth, but moved over to Ireland to box, and sadly lost his life. It just goes to show how hard our sport is at times. So yeah, thoughts with the family.
Yeah, very well said. I think we all share those sentiments, and condolences to everybody involved. Can I just ask you to address each other just briefly? I know you haven't watched in box, but hearing what he's saying there, it's a phone box type fight. Yeah, but this is the easiest question I've ever asked. That's the sort of fight you welcome, isn't it?
Yeah, phone type fight is it's meat and drink. I'll take that, every day, twice on a Sunday. People say a lot of shit at these press conferences, you know what I mean? Whether it's true or not, we'll see. But again, I've got no bad words to say against him. It's a fight, and we're both there to win.
Yeah, and presumably you echo that as well.
The same. I've got massive respect for Sam. He seems like a good guy, but it's just a shame. April 20th, we've got to go at it, and there's always going to be one winner, and that's me.
Okay, well that brings us on to our main event. Apologies for any language there. Here we go. This is it. Ben, I'll ask you just to set this one up briefly. Ben Shalom, that is. I'll ask you to set this one up briefly. Probably a lot of time spent around the negotiating table. A lot has been said on both sides to get it over the line. It's probably the hard bit. The easy bit now is listening to these two go about their promotion.
Yeah, look, it's been a long 2-3 months trying to get this over the line. I think, in fairness, both fighters wanted it. In the end, both teams wanted it, and it happens. And look, everyone knows what happened on October 12th. It was one of the biggest stories of the night. It was one of the biggest stories of the year. But to see it turned around this quickly, I think both fighters deserve a lot of credit. I think the fans demanded this fight, and we had to deliver for the fans. And so to have this fight now landing in Birmingham on April 20th, it's just mouth-watering. The narrative, the history, the background. But for me, one of the biggest stars in British boxing put to the test. And yeah, it's a major night. Both guys have absolutely everything on the line.
I will start with Ben Whittaker, if you don't mind, Liam. I don't think you want to. You don't. Perhaps mind me.
He's got a lot of answers. He's got a lot of answers to give. He's been quiet for 3 months, so I'm done with talking. I've pushed for this fight, so let's hear it. He's acting casual with his pasta, but he's shitting his
I can't eat.
I will need you to say a little bit more later on, but yeah, sorry for interrupting your lunch, Ben. Where do you want to start? There's been a little bit of heat on you. Is an understatement. I don't think it's an understatement to say that was probably one of the most talked about, controversial, bizarre moments we've seen in recent years in a boxing ring that you were part of. Did you feel that you had to take this fight to clean the slate, to answer those questions?
Like I said on the stage with Johnny, I had a lot of options. There's a lot of people I could have picked, but it was the right option for me. This is the fight I wanted. It's the fight that the fans wanted. And like I said, after I win, I'll move on.
Do you feel that you have got a point to prove?
Not to nobody. I like to just prove points to myself. I know how good of a boxer I am, and that will show.
I've already asked this on Sky Sports News, but for the benefit of the press conference, I do have to ask it. I don't think people that have been there or haven't been there, in my case, have the right to ask it, but a lot of people will want to know the answer. The nature of the injury, did you quit? Could you have continued? That is the number one question I've seen on social media that's been put to you.
Yeah, man, I quit, threw myself over the ropes.
Told you.
And, I went for the WWE type of move with Rey Mysterio, but it backfired. But at the end of the day, April the 20th, we can right that wrong.
What are your feelings towards him now you've shared the ring with him?
Yeah. To me, there's no animosity there. At the end of the day, it's just another fight. I've had rematches in the amateurs. I've had trilogies in the amateurs. It's just another fight. I say he's more emotionally attached to it than I am.
I'm definitely
which
not,
he should
honestly.
be. Which he should be at the end of the day. It's gave him this new fame. It's gave him his new followers. Under that bucket hat, it's gave him a new hairline as well.
Been watching though. Why
So,
how come you don't follow me back?
All I can say is, I truly believe 20th of April was the day it was written. I'm a big follower of Jesus Christ. That's the day he risen, and that's the day I'll win and move on.
There was, I suppose, two ways to deal with the backlash. One of them was to come out swinging and to say your piece, and the other way was to keep quiet and keep your counsel. You chose option 2. Why was that?
For me, what's there to talk about? Everybody saw it. Everybody saw what happened, and we're back now. For me, it was a great time. I didn't have to post nothing. I didn't have to talk. I could just go to the gym and train hard. And for me, it was amazing. That's what got me to the Olympics. That's what got me talked about. It's just being Ben Whittaker, and you'll see it again.
There's a lot of talk about, what Ben Whittaker didn't do. But Liam's already said to us off camera, I'm sure he's going to say it now, that doesn't really give credit for what he did in the fight. But at the same time, were you having an off night? Was it a bad night at the office for you? Is that a one-off? Can you right the wrongs and be better?
This is how I see it. He turned up his best. I turned up my worst. And he still really couldn't do much.
Definitely
the highlight of the fight is we flew over the ropes.
3 weeks before the fight.
Oh, that's amazing news. I hope it's better now.
Yeah, it's
fair play, nice.
But you noticed it because you called me big nose.
Why when I talk, everybody's got to start butting in? I'm going to let you have your piece.
Yeah, but
I'm sit back in your chair and relax, man. So back to what you were saying. At the end of the day, he turned up his best, and that's the point of it. He turned up his best. I turned up my worst. And it looked like 2 kids just come out of Weatherspoons, drunk, swinging. That's all it was. When I turn up April the 20th, we'll share a burger or something after I win.
But what you're going on, what fight in the pros are you going to go on to that? Like, what you're going to turn up, what you're showing us?
April the 20th, that one.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the
good.
best.
I like this Ben Whittaker though. He's not biting. I'm trying to dig him out, but he's not biting. He's learning.
Well, I'm biting my meal that you interrupted. But I'll get back to it.
Do you believe that you have humbled him a little bit?
Yeah, listen, I wish him all the best. It's nothing personal. I've had a lot out of Ben. Got a new career, new airline, new sponsors. I'm buzzing, I'm living life. Look at me there. Should be Cameron Whittaker, but yeah, thank you for everyone what's supporting me. It means the world to me. I'm going to finish the job, I promise you.
I asked Ben the difficult question, so I'm going to ask you the difficult question. It was very clear on the audio that certain members of your team felt that he could have carried on. What was your take in that moment?
He said, the ref went, can you carry on? We were laid down and we were doing that. I can't continue. Me, I got up, didn't I got up, ready to fight, but we'll put it all to bed. And we'll have a black coffee together after.
I don't like coffee.
Don't you?
Yeah, we'll go for a hot chocolate or something, man.
Definitely.
Was it what Ben said, the best Liam Cameron against the worst Ben Whittaker? Do you pay any lip service to that? Can you be better?
Yeah, definitely. I've just come back on that, so I was finding myself again. getting better and better. I knew this fight was going to happen. I've stayed in gym over Christmas.
Sorry to butt in. So you say you knew it was going to happen. You did think that he would take the
I knew
rematch?
he was going to have to take it because I get told, it's public demand, blah, blah, this. Stay in gym. So we've been working on Ben. We've been working on different things. All I've got to do is do the bang same. Rough him up, swing big bombs, hit him a couple of times at back of head. He didn't like that last time. He's got a lot to prove to the world, to his subscribers. So the pressure's on him. I'm not bothered. Win, lose or draw, I'll just do my best. And that will be enough.
But you want to win?
100%, of course I do. I'm going to win.
You were talking to him during the fight. So now's the chance to sort of tell us what were you saying to him in that moment?
Probably. Can you swear on this? Yeah.
I would rather you didn't. I mean, you have already, but it gets me in a little...
Have I swore?
It gets me in a tiny little bit of hot water. I mean, I think I can apologise, and we know that emotions are running high. So if you could say it without saying...
You can't punch. This time, what I did notice, we were very tired from third round, so I was saying, you're knackered. There's 8 rounds left. Is that good maths, that? Or...
Yeah, it was the end of the 5th. The bell rang for the 5th, didn't it? May I ask you, had that instant not happened, and we're talking hypotheticals, and it's to both of you, do you feel that you would have gone on to win the fight? Do you believe that you would have gone on to win the fight? Ben Whittaker, both of you. You go first.
I don't think Ben would have got through it on fitness alone. Never mind me trying to punch it. Because I know I talk about Lyndon, I put it on him from the off. With Ben, I thought I'll wing into it a bit. So we're going to do it as the rounds went on, bit by bit. You saw me turning the screw. That weren't 100% at that stage. That was about 60.
What would you say to that? Had that instant not happened, how would the rest of the fight panned out in your eyes?
All shoulda, coulda, woulda, really. April the 20th. That's what all matters, really. I'll win there. And you can go back and watch that fight on replay and say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If I did this, if I turn them screws from round 1, we'll see.
Interestingly, people will put pressure on you, but realistically, you can ill afford not to win this fight if you want to get to where a lot of people thought you were going to get, where you want to get to yourself. Does that add an extra pressure? Every fight is must win, I suppose, when you're Ben Whittaker. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you've had this draw, is this must win now?
For me, there's no pressure, if I'm really honest. I've been in situations with a lot more pressure. And he said it in his own words, win, lose or draw. There's no win, lose or draw, it's just win. That's it. Win and move on.
What happened on the night? Because one of the things that got a lot of people talking, you got a lot of criticism and heat in the fights you've had previously for showboating, being disrespectful, and you sort of built a fan base of lovers and haters based on that. And then on the night against Liam Cameron, people were saying, where's that Ben Whittaker gone? Ironically, it was a complete turnaround. Where was the showboating? Where was the flash?
I don't know, man. Maybe we'll bring it on the next one. I was trying something different, maybe. Who knows? But we'll see.
Would you concede that you got drawn into boxing the wrong fight? Boxing his sort of fight?
You could say that. But even when I was there, he didn't really do nothing. You know what I mean? He was just holding me, trying to, I don't know what he was trying to do, to be honest, trying to grope me and stuff.
I was holding you.
He was groping like me and rubbing up on me. Whoa. He was like he was a distant lover or something, man.
Well, should we address the incident? I mean, did you pull him over the ropes? Did you push him over the ropes?
Of course he pulled me over. His head went right before his back.
I put myself in a position where I could really, truly injure myself because you're in the opposite corner.
What is it, your neck
man,
or
you've been playing fight night, man.
Ben, sure. What is it, the neck or the ankle? Because
it's my whole body. It's my whole body, man. Spinal, like Mike Tyson said. Now, I mean,
1 minute.
The main thing is he's still gone on about this first fight. Like I said, fair play. I've got no animosity. He's built your career, but 20th of April, it's Judgment Day, man. It's the day it was written. It is what it is. So just get your little podcasting now, do your little interviews, make your little bit of quids, because sadly it comes to an end, man. But Like I said, I wish you the best.
You said all this last. I can't just take you serious.
Because I don't think
laughing.
I don't think we fought before, so I don't think I did say that.
You know, you said you were going.
Did I?
This.
Okay.
You're going to eat your pasta. Just go
Okay. It's lovely. I'll give you some, but you might burn the fork with your hot breath.
Yeah, eat your pasta.
Well, unless anybody has anything else they want to say, I will just invite you to give your predictions now.
I just want to see the new hairline that I brought in, man. Take that bucket off,
You can't
man.
do me dirty like that.
Come on, man.
Not live on Sky
let the people know what the doctor is and just show. Whoa.
Cheers, Ben. Cheers. Thank you. Can we have a round of
Look at the
applause
boy in
for
striped
Ben?
pyjamas, man. Look good. I'm fighting Shmuel next.
Prediction time. Yeah, I'll invite you to say it to each other. Ben Whittaker to Liam Cameron. What happens Easter Sunday?
The whole day. I'll wake up.
I mean, you can tell me this. I'm more focused on the fight itself, but whatever you want to tell
I'll
me.
wake up. I usually go for a wee and a number 2. I'll probably do that, get myself comfortable, have a nice shower, brush my teeth, go downstairs, breakfast will be made for me. Go upstairs, watch a bit of anime, maybe put on the PlayStation, go back down, have another meal, chill out, have a laugh. Oh, now catch up on EastEnders because I'll probably have missed it with the fight week. So catch up on my EastEnders, have a little cup of tea, some digestives, make my way to the arena, do what I've got to do, beat him up, have a laugh, leave, and I'll meet him in 5 guys, man. It's all written there for you.
So I'll probably rephrase it for you. Once the first bell rings and the lights come down,
It's going to have a P and a number 2 and all this.
At these press conferences, you kind of think like, you can't have too much information. But I'll rephrase it. When the first bell rings, what will be your prediction? What happens this time round?
I don't know really. I've done enough talking. I'm sick of it now. Hopefully I can just flatten him in the first round and that's it. Then move on, honestly.
Can you be flattened in the first round?
Time will tell, I suppose.
There you go. Well, thank you very much for coming out today, everybody. I'm sure there'll be opportunities now for more questions. Unfortunately for you, you might have to do a little bit more talking, Liam Cameron. Ben, unless you have Ben Shalom, unless you have anything to add, we'll wrap this up and we will do head-to-heads and everyone will be available for one-on-ones.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out.
Well, Johnny, that was everything and more, I think, that press conference.
Actually, Liam spoke more than I actually thought he would. Ben was his normal super cool self, not giving away as little as possible and giving us information we probably didn't want about his EastEnders backlog. But that's Ben, and that's why he gets the fans loving all over him.
I mean, I asked the question, Matt, if he was going to be eating humble pie, Ben Whittaker. He was eating his lunch. He was having some sushi while he was doing the press conference.
Guess he timed his day wrong, didn't he? His meal times, etc.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, lunch doesn't wait for Ben Whittaker. This is a good fight, Johnny.
A very good fight. I think, as I said, I look at one fight. I think you've been around forever and a day.
Yeah.
And but he's
in Sam Egginton.
In Sam Egginton, of course. And Sam Egginton, his experience, he's been there, done that. And then his opponent's looking at him thinking, I came and watched you box in Liverpool. And I was inspired by you. You're still an amateur then. But this is going to be an interesting fight. Sam Egginton, you can never ever write him off.
Lee Cutler's on a good roll as well. I think it's 8 wins on the bounce for him, so he'll be looking to push on as well. What do you think it's going to come down to?
I think it's going to come down to fight freshness. Fight freshness, and Sam Egginton is tough. He knows that. We know that. He's a bruiser. He loves to fight. So it's down to fight freshness for the both. Whoever's the freshest, and you look at Cutler and think he's the one that should be able to snatch or pickpocket.
With Sam Egginton, though, you're always in exciting fights. It's going to be sort of explosive, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Very experienced, very tough. He's going to take the fight to Cutler. He's going to stick it on him, and he's going to give him no. You know, if there's any chinks in the armour of Lee Cutler's bottle or will, Sam will be asking those questions. But I agree with Johnny. I think freshness, you know, hunger, etc., lies with Lee Cutler.
Well, this is the main event, of course. Ben Whittaker against Liam Cameron. They go again. It's going to be fascinating. I mean, the back and forth between these two, it began pretty much immediately, didn't it, after the first fight? And it just adds extra spice going into this rematch.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you look at Ben Whittaker, and Ben there's a kind of no nonsense about him. Whereas Cameron, he's got that Yorkshire, I'm not interested in this, I just want to get on with fighting. So he's not going to give him the thrills or the sprills. He says he's trying to get under his skin to try and poke him, to say, I'm not bothered who you are, what you do. This is who I am.
Do you think Liam had any success with that?
No, I don't. Ben's his normal self. Ben, you know, annoying to some, intriguing to others. And so we won't know much until the fight comes. The person you're watching the most is Ben, to see if Ben's the one that sparks and gets emotionally attached to this fight, because he said Liam's the one that's emotionally attached.
Neither want to give an inch in this, and the way this is going, it could be going for another, 10, 11 minutes we had in Saudi?
I was going to say, I hope we don't last half as long as that. That was a long one. No, I don't think we'll get to that far.
I mean, they're still going. They've been broken up, but Johnny, they're still going. Neither want to remove their eyes from each other.
Liam's trying to show him, look, I'm not into the spills and thrills that you do. I'm for real. And he's trying his hardest to get under Ben's skin. He'll talk to him. He'll be arrogant to him. You know, he'll try everything possible just to say, I don't respect you. I'm not bothered with what you've got going on.
What do you think Liam will do differently second time around?
Nothing. The difference between this fight and the last fight is he's got more notice. He said, I've been training for 16 weeks. I had no time.
Well, he said he stayed in the gym, didn't he, over Christmas? He was predicting that this rematch was going to happen.
Yeah, and he had no time. He said, and that's the worst thing, because I couldn't prepare for this. My nose was broken 3 weeks before that fight, so he went in, as far as he was concerned, with the handicap.
And he'll have more confidence, because he'll have confidence that he was getting to him. You know, up until when the fight got stopped, Cameron was getting to Whittaker, so he'll know he can get to him.
And he'll take that going into this fight, because the smallest of margins, if you can get a sort of an edge over someone going into a rematch, they make the big difference, don't they, Matt?
The pressure's all on Ben Whittaker, because the fight got stopped in controversial fashion. There was an injury, and at the time of the injury, the pattern of the fight, the direction it was going in, it was in favour of Cameron.
Well, the verbals are continuing between Ben and Liam, but as we can see, Ben has come to join us on the stage. Do you want to pop on the inside, Ben? We'll do a little dance.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Good to see you, Ben.
Good to see you.
How was your lunch?
It was good, you know. I'm a messy eater, so I tried to take my time with it, but you know, it's all good.
What did you make of that? Because I think Liam Cameron was doing his best to get under your skin, but successful or not? Not
at all. Like I said up there, there's not really much speaking to be done. He turned up his best, I turned up my worst, and at the end of the day, it was a messy, horrible fight. What happened, and luckily enough, I get to right that wrong, and that's it.
There was plenty of things said after that fight. You know, a lot of people accusing you of quitting, and I know Andy asked you that question. I think there was a little hint of sarcasm in your response up there. But how much did that play on your mind? How much has that been sort of part of the process moving forward for you?
Yeah, people's opinions don't really mean much to me, other than the people around me. I don't have to go into the history, but at the Olympics, for instance, I went there with one arm. Do you know what I mean? So those things, it's not in me. But at the end of the day, the people that stood on that side and said that about me, when I win, stay on that side.
It's got to surely stung a little bit, because we've spoken at the top of the show how much you turned over to such a big fanfare. You know, the clip that went viral and sent you flying, you know, around the world.
Yeah.
And then it was essentially a little bit of a fall from grace, wasn't it, for you?
I kind of liked it. Obviously, as a pro, you want your career pristine. You want no errors, nothing like that. But for me, I kind of liked it. I wouldn't say he humbled me, because he didn't humble me, but he just brought my feet back to earth in a sense where what got me to where I am now is being Ben Whittaker, training. There's no cameras around, there's no glitz and glam. Of course I'm flashy, that's my style, I'm a flashy, flamboyant person. But you know, sometimes I maybe did it too much fight week and things like that. Now I'm just being me. And I think when I be me, the best Ben Whittaker will turn up. And I've kind of liked this quiet stage, because in this quiet stage, I've been allowed to be in the gym, no distractions, and be myself.
Well, what have you been doing in the gym? Stripping things back a bit?
I've been working on my fall from falling over the ring. You know what I mean? Got some WWE coaches in, put some crash mats down, and been working on it. But I've had about
carrying on the sarcasm into this chat.
Exactly. But I've had a couple of months to just, you know, really dedicate myself, cut the distractions out, and just become a better boxer and a better person, so I'm happy.
And in terms of pressure, you said you're not really feeling the pressure. I think the two guys alongside me, you feel that there is pressure on Ben?
There won't be pressure, but to me, what I kind of figures that the biggest lesson learned in all of this is not what happened in the ring, it's how you deal with what happens outside of the ring. As a fighter, it can either make you or break, and I'm quite sure that's the biggest lesson out of all this. The inside the ring business, you know what you could have done, what you should have done, what will you do? I suppose it's the reaction and how you're seeing the turn of people outside the ring. That's a surprising thing.
Yeah. The thing is, like I said, I'd rather it happen now than later down in my career. The main thing is, yeah, it does happen. It shouldn't have happened, but it happens with prospects. I was like, you know, I'm going to go in there. I can do what I want for a week. I'm going to go in there, blitz him, and I'll be on to the next. And the good thing is he's kind of taught me treat every fight as it could be your last. And I think going in there with that mindset, I'll be fine.
I think it's undisputable that you weren't at your best on the night. I remember seeing you the week of the fight on a Wednesday, I think it was, in the Tyson gym, and you're doing like some explosive work. And in my own head at that time, I'm thinking, why is he doing that on a Wednesday?
Exactly.
So my question is, do you think you're overtrained, or did you get the weight wrong? Because you didn't look right.
I know, I'm not going to stand up here and make excuses, but like I said, yeah, of course, there's things to it, like, because I was in Saudi, I wanted to train. There was a lot there as well, do you know what I mean? They wanted me to do a lot of media obligations. I was here, there, everywhere. I was smiling. I was being the flashy Ben. It wasn't too much because I loved it, but looking back now, there's times where I could have just focused more, could have just chilled out, could have just remained on the goal. And then, like you said, when I went to the gym, I was doing like 10 pads, bags, strength sessions. I was treating it just as a normal fight camp, really. It wasn't a fight week, it was ridiculous. So for me, I've learned from it, and it's like I said, I'd rather it then than in a very, very dangerous fight. Because if I'm being honest, if he's as good as he thinks he is or says he is, a top level fighter there should have cleaned me out.
Just a question on the Saudi card. Did you feel, I guess, an extra pressure to perform on such a big card?
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't get no pressure in that instance, because if anything, I was probably a bit overconfident. I went out there, so I'm going to win, man. And that's it. And it's the little grounding I needed just to say, look, Ben, you know, you're in the pros now. Take each fight as it comes. Well, I was looking in the future. I was looking at 2026. I was looking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have this car. And it can easily be done, but I'm happy it happened now.
Indeed. And you're back home headlining. That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing to bring back boxing. Just touching on what Andy said, the news with Joe.
Yeah.
Some things are bigger than boxing, man.
Absolutely, and our thoughts are with Joe.
There's some things bigger than boxing, and that's what I kind of learned in this stunt. They were speaking about me for 3 weeks, and then I got forgotten about. So sometimes you can't buy into it. I just hope Joe and his family are good. And touching on the April, I'm a born-again Christian now. In that little time off, I got baptized. You know what I mean? So I truly believe this day is written for a reason. It's Easter Sunday. That's the day you're risen. And I'm very excited.
As are we, Ben, to see you back in the ring on Easter Sunday, April the 20th. Thank you for chatting to us.
Thank you very much for your time.
We'll be seeing much more of you over the coming weeks.
Thanks, Big Man. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Ben. It feels like he has learnt a fair bit, more so out of the ring.
Without a doubt, and I think, and as the reason why I said that, I think it's when you see how the public can turn on you, all those backslappers turn on you, and have an opinion about how good you are or you aren't. That's the thing that makes you grow up. I get that. I've been there, seen that, and I think for him, I think that hurt him more than anything else in regards to all of this.
How you doing, Liam? Is that your phone? Do you need to get it?
Yeah. Can you hold me that phone, please? Cheers. I'm good, how are you?
I'm really, really good. We enjoyed that press conference and you did your very best, I think, to try and stir the pot and poke the bear as such, but didn't quite work today.
Not quite work. He's nervous, I can feel the nervousness on him. He's playing it cool, he knows he can't say too much now. He's eating his little pasta to hide his nerves. I'm just cool, calm. Want to go home now.
I can get that. I mean, they're always interesting, aren't they?
He should be nervous. There's a lot riding on this fight for him. He didn't perform well last time, and the fight ended the way it did. All the backlash he had to deal with from that. So, reputationally, in a lot of ways, he's fighting for his career in this fight. It's not just this fight; his career and his reputation. What he goes on after this. There's a lot riding on this for Ben Whittaker.
What did you learn about Ben in the ring last time out?
Look, I only can go on the last fight. It were easier than I thought. I built him up to be a monster, this great fighter, and I got to him in round 2. What can I say? I'll be lying if I said he were this, that and other. I'm just being honest. He's got a new trainer, he's sobbed his old one off. Sorry to that guy, he did his best for him. But I've heard rumours about his training and stuff.
Is he as strong as you thought, as fast as you thought? Is anything that you were surprised that he wasn't, that you built him up to be?
He were fast, I'll give him that, but he was so lethargic in ring. He had no energy after round 2, and like you said, nerves, that does drain you, don't it? Plus he's a big tall guy, that weight must be hard.
You see, in my head, how I saw it, I thought he was trying too hard to want to impress on such a massive stage, so he wanted to try and get you out of there, which I think now he understands.
Do you think you were trying to get me out of there?
I do, because he was on his front foot. He was trying to put the pressure on you, and I think he doesn't fight like that.
I think Johnny's got it right. I think he was trying too hard, but I think he was trying too hard after it wasn't going right for him.
Yeah.
To me, he looked shattered early on in the fight.
Because he boxed in the style that he on his front foot, trying to punch through him, and he all of a sudden thought, I can't punch through this guy.
And we do know it's 12 rounds this time.
Yeah.
It's not the 10.
I think he's openly said though that the fight week it was sort of, it took it out of him in Saudi. How much confidence though are you taking from those? I know it was only a few rounds you did with him, but how much confidence are you taking going into this one?
Don't mean nothing to me. I have to do and prepare as though he's the man, do you know what I mean? It's everyone's saying is to be, so anything other than that I've prepared for. So I'm looking at the best Ben Whittaker.
And what do you think that best Ben Whittaker's going to bring?
A lot of running.
A lot of running?
Yeah.
So what happens when the first bell goes?
I'll come out and we'll exchange jabs. Then that's it then. Fight's underway, innit? What more can I say? I don't know how the fight's going to go.
Do you think it's going to go the distance?
I can't see it, to be fair, and I like to not be cocky, but I just can't see it. He couldn't get past 5 rounds before he were hanging on for dear life. You've seen the videos, you've seen him chuck himself off ropes, he relaxes his body and puts his head back. But that's all in past. He needs to prove a point. I don't. I'm just going to end up bang same. No pressure on me.
We're looking forward to it, Liam. Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Fascinating press conference, really interesting, and provided a lot of entertainment. We'll grab the mic off you, and we'll be seeing you soon over the next few weeks. You're done. He just wants to get in the ring, doesn't he?
No nonsense.
No,
he's a
just-
no-nonsense
yeah, had
Yorkshireman,
enough.
just wants to get on with it, and that's it. And I think he's not baffled or impressed by anything that's said, the lights, the TVs, or anything. If anything, initially was scared of actually just talking on the microphone. I like that, and I hope that never changes in it.
Why do you like that? In what way?
I like that because it means you love doing what you're doing. You're not distracted by anything else that's out there. And as long as you keep that hunger, that attitude, it'll always stand you in good stead. Because regardless of what happens with this fight here, after that, there'll be fights with Lyndon Arthur or whoever, Callum Simpson. There'll be fights there because they'll want to measure themselves against Ben. So he's the guy that I don't want to. And again, opportunities will come. He's probably getting a lot of money for this fight, more than he's ever got paid as a professional to this point. So again, whatever happens, he's probably overachieved, or we just don't know how good he really is until he gets to a certain point in his career.
How much is on the line, do you think, for Ben Whittaker on April the 20th?
I think his career's on the line.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's got to go in there and first and foremost he's got to win. But I think, you know, to get back to where he was, he's got to win in style. That doesn't mean he has to knock him out, but he's got to look the business in whatever way he wins. He's got to look good.
What do you think, Johnny? Do you agree with Matt? Does he have to win in style, or for him, does he just need to get the win against Liam Cameron
he has
second
to
time
win.
around?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Ben needs to be that annoying Ben Whittaker that makes people love him or loathe him. He has to be
Marmite Ben.
Yes, he has to be the pantomime villain.
Yeah.
And that guy, you know, makes you hate him, makes you forget about tactics, makes you want to just walk straight through, and that makes you make mistakes. That Ben Whittaker is the one that gets us all talking, gets everybody interested, got his millions of followers.
Well, it grabs the attention, doesn't it, around the world?
And as long as he can fight and back that up,
Yeah.
he forgot that night, and he wanted to make as far as I'm concerned, he tried to make an impression to steal the limelight, and it didn't work in his favour because every fighter was committed to the press role that he was talking about as well. So I just think he chose the wrong tactics.
We are a couple of months out, but before we go, right now, right here, who would you go with?
I'd go with Ben. On points.
Matt?
Same. I think he looked beyond Liam Cameron last time. I think he got the weight wrong, or he overtrained. He wasn't himself. And Liam and Cameron was good, but I think we'll see a very different Ben Whittaker. I think he'll be sharp, but Cameron's a tough old pro,
Yeah.
a
And you know
solid
what?
fighter.
We might
so
be making a mistake and not giving Liam the credit he deserves. And if I am a Sheffield man just like him, if I am, I apologise. But it's about seeing that, you know what, you're underestimating me. So that's what we might be doing.
I think he did underestimate Cameron, and I don't think he'll underestimate him again. I do think Ben will win, but I think it'll be a hard fight. I think because Cameron will be in there for the distance.
I think it'll be a hard fight. I think it'll be an entertaining fight, and it's one you do not want to miss. Thank you, chaps, for your company today at Glaziers Hall. Thank you for watching as well. Make sure you join us on April the 20th, Easter Sunday, for a huge rematch between Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron.